Chapter 381. Half-Immortal Weapon 1. This was a supreme powerhouse that was compared shoulder to shoulder with the eldest senior brother. When they were in the 18 layers of hell, they both fought several times, and it was a no contest. Eldest senior brother had to treat it with gravity. The Mad Demon King's strength was not below his, and he had no certainty of defeating it. The war between the righteous and the devils all started because of you. Do you think Elder Shura will let you go? The Mad Demon King looked his eldest senior brother, his face equally incomparably grave. Started because of me. He. Eldest senior brother laughed coldly a few times, then pointed his sword at the Mad Demon King and coldly said, "Since that's the case, let's do it. Let's see how much you've grown over these years." As eldest senior brother's words fell, a snowdrift of ice enveloped the entire space. Eldest senior brother had the most profound comprehension above the ice arcane. This was his original ice and snow domain, and fighting within it would be a great amplifier for him. Obviously, the Mad Demon King's strength was powerful, causing eldest senior brother to deploy his own undercard at the first opportunity. Looking at the surrounding ice and snow, a trace of scorn flashed in the eyes of the Mad Demon King, and then coldly said, "Bloody Blade King, I recognize your strength. But Elder Cultivator gave me a death order to kill you no matter what. So I can only be shameless today. Give me on." After speaking, he took the lead in attacking the eldest brother. Behind him a dozen or so harmonization stage powerhouses also came out at the same time. They formed a formation and jointly killed the eldest brother. Eldest senior brother's eyes instantly became cautious. These dozen of harmonization stage powerhouses were all at the harmonization stage Seal King level. With a dozen of them joining forces, even he would have to suffer a loss. Not to mention that there was an even more powerful Mad Demon King. Eldest brother felt the pressure, felt the crisis. Come on, no matter how many people there are, I, Blade Slayer, am fearless. Suddenly, eldest senior brother let out a loud roar, and his invincible aura shot straight up into the sky, stirring up this heaven and earth that nearly collapsed with countless spatial storms that wreaked havoc within the ice and snow realm. And the eldest senior brother himself held a precious sword, battling with the Mad Demon King. Boom, the void trembled. The crazy Demon King's hand didn't know when an iron rod appeared, 3 feet long, waving it with extraordinary momentum, clashing with the eldest brother's sword, erupting in a burst of terrifying energy fluctuations. Those dozen also combined stage Seal King powerhouses were all shocked out a dozen or so feet by their aftershocks, causing them to feel a blush. Rubbish! The Mad Demon King couldn't help but curse when he saw the sorry state of those dozen also combined body stage Seal King powerhouses. The dozen also conjunction stage sealed King powerhouses were immediately filled with aggression, thinking that they, conjunction stage sealed King powerhouses, were also sealed elder existences in the Devil sect, with an extraordinary status. Where had they ever been despised like this? However, after the Mad Demon King was promoted to the conformity stage, he was already the vice sovereign of the demon sect, and his status was no worse than that of the cultivation elder, so they naturally didn't dare to return the favor. Kill. Under the shame, the dozen also Seal King powerhouses were all furious. They didn't dare to offend the Mad Demon King, but they put their hatred on elder brother. Taking advantage of elder brother's dealing with the Mad Demon King, they teamed up and attacked. No matter what, they were all combined stage Seal King powerhouses, and with a dozen of them joining forces, they also made eldest senior brother in a sorry state. And while dealing with the crazy Demon King, he simply couldn't come up with any extra means to fend off the siege of a dozen combined stage Seal King powerhouses, which was a dangerous situation all of a sudden. Bloody Blade King, don't blame me. Not being able to give a fair fight with you a regret for me as well. Nay, I am now the demon sect's vice-sect leader, and I can no longer do whatever my heart desires as I did before." The Mad Demon King roared as he attacked his eldest senior brother. Although they were enemies of each other, he had great admiration for eldest senior brother, and it was entirely possible for them to become soulmates if they got rid of their identities as righteous devils. Mad Demon King, distracted while fighting. "Are you underestimating me? Ice blood reincarnation." The eldest senior brother snorted coldly at his words, and a powerful energy exploded, sending the crazy demon king flying out. Immediately after that, two invincible figures rushed out from eldest senior brother's body, killing towards the dozen also combined stage seal king powerhouses. This was his Tao god and Dharma god, both of which were at the only god level, and the two gods joined forces, surprisingly completely blocking the attacks of the dozen also combined stage seal king powerhouses. When the Mad Demon King saw this scene, he couldn't help but let out a long hiss and roared, "Good. Worthy of being the Blood Blade King. I, the Mad Demon King, will fight you at your peak." With a loud roar, the two of them fought fiercely in the void, and powerful energy aftershocks escaped with the battle, annihilating countless spaces. Blade of ice and snow, blade of killing, ... blade Tao reincarnation. The eldest senior brother yelled up to the sky, and being under his peak state, he brought into play his lifelong comprehension of the Tao of the blade. I remembered that Kangxuan's third senior brother, Yu Shuyu, had once said that although senior brother had not made much progress in the 9-turn Zhuanggong, his cultivation of the Tao of the blade was comparable to that of his master, the elder of law enforcement, and was the strongest amongst all the disciples of the Heavenly Tao sect. Now, eldest senior brother was using his peak power to completely display his Tao of the blade, a terrifying power that caused the Immortal mansion to shake. A good Blood Blade King. I'm going mad. The crazy demon king's eyes were full of different colors, and his battle intent was sky high. He also roared out. His entire body was like a madman. His eyes were crimson, emitting a crazy demonic intent. Although he wasn't of a special bloodline, he had an innate crazy demonic intent. And it was this crazy demonic intent that made him a natural devil cultivator. Every time he went crazy, he wanted to be crazy and fight, without dying, and his fighting strength increased a lot. Therefore, people called her the Mad Demon King. Boom, right at this moment, the sky changed drastically as a huge pressure enveloped the sky. Heavenly tribulation. Big Brother, Crazy Demon King, and the others felt this pressure, and as they looked at the strange changes in the sky, their faces immediately became startled. The heavenly tribulation also seemed to sense the strength of eldest brother and the others, yet as if they had been deceived. The entire tribulation cloud boiled up violently, and the massive pressure became even more massive. Not good. The heavenly tribulation sensed that our strength has increased as well. The Mad Demon King's face sank. Heavenly tribulation. It was the heavenly tribulation that was induced by Little Jin's breakthrough to the split spirit stage. Originally, the power of this heavenly tribulation had at most reached the power of the early stage of harmonization, but because the heavenly tribulation had sensed the formidable strength of the eldest senior brother, Crazy Demon King, and the others down below, it had immediately adjusted the power of the heavenly tribulation, causing the power of this heavenly tribulation to be enhanced to the harmonization stage seal emperor level all of a sudden. Now, even eldest senior brother and Crazy Demon King felt a huge pressure. This heavenly calamity could already threaten them. Of course, originally, with their strength, they could have completely withdrawn outside of the heavenly calamity's senses. But at this moment, they were fighting, and neither of them dared to withdraw, fearing that the other party would take advantage of the opportunity to strike. So they could only freeze with each other, watching the heavenly tribulation's power increase, and then envelop them in it. rumble, soon, in the shocked gazes of eldest senior brother and the others. A vast sea of thunder descended and covered them, engulfing them. What a strong heavenly tribulation! Who is this? The mad demon king couldn't help but be shocked. This kind of heavenly tribulation was something he had only seen on the two great geniuses of the demon sect, by Wuxia and Demon Sky. Obviously, this person who was transiting the heavenly tribulation was definitely a top genius. Could this person be that Kangxia? The mad demon king wasn't a fool and immediately guessed what was going on as his eyes stared and slightly glanced at the immortal mansion below. Apart from them, there were only a few people left within the immortal mansion in this place. So the person who had crossed the tribulation must be within the immortal mansion. Eldest senior brother guessed it as well, and a hint of laughter flashed across the bottom of his eyes. Good guys. It's not good enough for you guys to come up with this kind of way of transiting the tribulation. Then he smiled bitterly. The person who transits the heavenly tribulation doesn't need to transit the tribulation, while the people who don't transit the tribulation, are instead being dragged into the tribulation. It's really suffocating. But the heavenly calamity doesn't care that much. It will include the immortal mansion, all of them split. The huge sea of thunder rolled and surged, a terrifying thunderbolt, like a rushing torrent, ravaging between this heaven and earth. Eldest brother and crazy demon king were resisting the thunderbolt while attacking each other, and were actually fighting in this sea of thunder, causing the sky to crumble, and the earth to split, which also disguisedly showed their powerful strength. On the other hand, the dozen or so combined Stage Seal King powerhouses on the other side did not fare so well. At this time, the power of the heavenly tribulation was already comparable to the combined Stage Seal King level. Each thunderbolt power blasted their entire body, scorched and blackened, and they were in danger of losing their lives.